Hey gamers, welcome back to part 2 of the Road to Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. This part 2 will go over Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Last week I went over Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. This video will go over the story summary for Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and the next week will be Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. I just want to let you know that, of course, major spoilers to the story of Peace Walker. This story will help new players who wants to get into the Phantom Pain but they don't know the story, and also re-jog the memories of past players who forgot the story. Alright, so I'm going to continue on with week 2, part 2, Peace Walker. This information I'm getting now is not from Games Radar. It's actually from Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. They had their own, the official information that they provided in Ground Zeroes to get you caught up on Ground Zeroes. So the information I'm going to read here is from Ground Zeroes, and the information is for Peace Walker. Let's get to it. Alright, so in 1974, Snake and his partner Kazuhiro Miller were running a small mercenary outfit in Colombia when they were visited by a man claiming to be a professor from Costa Rica's University for Peace. According to this professor, there had been several incidents involving a mysterious armed group in Costa Rica, a country without military of its own. The professor was accompanied by one of his students, a girl named Paz, who had been abducted and assaulted by this group. The professor and Paz offered to hire Snake to drive the group out of Costa Rica. However, Snake saw through their deception in an instant. The professor was actually a KGB agent, and the armed group in question backed by the CIA. Calder was no stranger to such overseas clandestine operations between US and Soviet agents, but the CIA's motives were a mystery. Paz had escaped from one of the CIA's group's facilities with a cassette tape. On it was the voice of the woman known as the Mother of Special Forces, the Boss. With a popular song from 1973 playing in the background, it was reasonable to conclude that the recording was made recently. Snake was stunned. The Boss was supposed to be dead. What was she doing in Costa Rica? If you guys forgot, the Boss was Snake's mentor, the only woman he ever loved. But 10 years prior, Snake was forced to take out the Boss in Metal Gear Solid 3. It was part of his mission, a bitter memory that still haunted him. Despite realizing that she simply could not have survived, Snake was unable to turn the professor down, telling him he was intervening as a deterrent for a defenseless country, as well as to honor the virtue of Paz's name, which means peace. Snake departed for Costa Rica. Once there, Snake ran into a unit of the Sandinista National Liberation Front that had fled to Nicaragua. After rising up against the pro-American Somoza regime, these rebels had become targets of the CIA group, who killed their commandante and left the unit in shambles. Snake rescued these Sandinistas and invited them back to Mother Base, the new offshore base of operations provided to them by the KGB. The fallen commandante's children, Amanda and Chico, saw something of their hero, Che Guevara, in Snake and grew to idolize him. This triggered a rapid expansion in Snake's forces. However, Snake was still no closer to discovering the CIA was really up to the Costa Rica. Snake then encountered Huey, a wheelchair-bound scientist being forced to work for the CIA. Huey revealed the CIA's terrifying plot. They were developing a system by which, following radar detection of an enemy nuclear launch, an AI would analyze all available data and automatically execute a retaliatory nuclear strike at appropriate target. Although designed to increase the power of nuclear deterrence, Goldman, the CIA's Central American Station chief, planned to actually launch a nuke to demonstrate the effectiveness of automated retaliation. This demonstration was only 5 days away. Snake rushed into the development lab to stop their AI from being completed. Upon infiltrating the lab, Snake was greeted by the voice from the tape, the same voice of the lost mentor, the Boss. But she was in fact the voice of the retaliatory system AI. His developer, Dr. Strangelove, had selected the Boss, the so-called greatest soldier who ever lived, as the AI's intellectual model. However, succumbing to the personal obsession, Strangelove had deviated from the research's original purpose. Not only had Dr. Strangelove reproduced the Boss's voice, she was on the verge of bringing her psyche back to life in AI form, driven by a bizarre kind of love. What if the Boss could be truly revived in every detail, if only in AI form? Snake hesitated as Strangelove's idea touched his sense of loss. His guard down, Snake was immediately captured. The Boss AI was completed, and Peace Walker, the nuclear-equipped walking battle tank housing this retaliatory AI system, went active. Snake fought in vain as Peace Walker prepared to fire the nuke, but in the face of catastrophe, it was ultimately a machine that saved mankind from nuclear annihilation. The Boss AI sank Peace Walker to the bottom of Nicaragua, stopping the launch. With the crisis behind him, Snake took advantage of his recent mobilization to continue Mother Base's expansion indefinitely. Snake had understood that the AI had acted to save the world, but that did not change the face that this system based on the Boss's mind had chosen at last to lay down down his weapon. As a weapon himself, Snake felt the act to be a rejection of his life. Undeterred, Snake and Miller had invited Huey and Dr. Strangelove to the Mother Base to develop Metal Gear Zeke, suddenly making their unit a nuclear power. Meanwhile, Mother Base took in Paz, already an orphan, but now left without even her KGB benefactor, following the end of the crisis. However, this was all engineered by an intelligence agency known as Cypher. Under Cypher's orders, Paz got closer to Amanda, Chico, and all the others while exploring more and more of the base, secretly plotting to hijack Metal Gear Zeke. Her objective was to use the weapon as a bargaining chip to force Snake into becoming the military arm of Cypher. Paz's attempt fails when Snake defeated Metal Gear Zeke, and she was thrown beneath the waters of the Caribbean. It was only then that Snake learned Chico had fallen in love with her. A diary she kept while on base was discovered several days later. It revealed a young girl torn between serving Cypher and following her heart. Perhaps due to Paz revealing the existence of Snake's nuke to Cypher, the International Atomic Energy Agency contacted Mother Base to request that it agree to nuclear inspection. If word got out that Snake's unit had a nuclear weapon, it would face severe criticism from around the world. But Huey, acting on his own, informed the IAEA that Mother Base would allow inspection. His reasoning was that as long as they kept Zeke and its nuke hidden from the inspectors, they could demonstrate the international community that they were not a threat. The option to call off the inspection having expired, Snake and his men reluctantly got preparations underway. So here's when Peace Walker ends. At this part is when Ground Zeroes actually starts. Amanda, deployed to Cuba to assist the Sandinistas, she learned that Paz had survived. The timing could not have been any worse. Suspecting her of turning back on the organization, Cypher had captured Paz and was interrogating her at a US military base on the southern tip of Cuba. Chico learned of this and set out to save Paz by himself. It was not long before a radio message from Chico reached Mother Base, saying he too had been captured. With an idea as to Cypher's true identity, Snake could not allow what Chico and Paz knew fall into their hands. Furthermore, if he could rescue Paz, he might be able to get information from her that would help him fight back against Cypher. On the eve of the nuclear inspection, Snake made the decision to leave for Cuba. Alright, thanks for watching part 2 of the road to Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Now, we are so close to Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. So we have one more video going over the brief, very small part of Ground Zeroes. It is a very, very short story, so I'll probably include the videos of me playing through it. Just like the story part at least, so that way you can get used to it. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more videos. Each Tuesday, the One Track Gamers podcast is up on iTunes and Stitcher. Go to onetrackgamers.com to see our latest updates. Go to Facebook to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. I'm at OneTrackPunk and the group is at One Track Gamers. Also remember that I am hosting a live Twitch show every morning on 9:30 Pacific time on Twitch. So follow us on One Track Gamers to see that weekly morning show.